today on Divorce Court.
La-Vaughn goes from 0 to 100 in seconds. He's broken 3 of my cell phones. If only I can get insurance for La-Vaughn's anger.
Kraniesha doesn't appreciate me because she doesn't value my morals. I work hard to keep a roof over my family's head.
Now that I'm pregnant with our second child, it just has me questioning our whole relationship.
What I want from the judge is a yin and yang relationship, a more balanced relationship. We need to find middle ground.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Kraniesha Vaughn and La-Vaughn Davis Hochstein, but I'm killing it, so I'm going to call you Mr. DH.
Perfect.
And you two are here on a before your vows. You filled out a compatibility test. I have your license. You've given me permission to tear it up should I think this is ill-advised. You guys have quite the story. I think you're here to get a ring. I'm not sure you're on board yet. I don't really know, but we're going to talk about it. Ms. Vaughn, the first thing you wrote in your papers was about bad sex. So tell me about that.
Well, La-Vaughn's the only person I've ever been with, but in the bedroom, I don't feel like we're on the same page, let alone even in the same room sometimes.
Can you be a little more specific, but not too much?
I would say La-Vaughn's more of a nympho, where I'm not. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I've never had an orgasm. So I think that really puts a damper on our sexual relationship.
Mr. DH, I've never asked a dude to defend himself in this department. But do you have anything you'd like to say?
It's not my fault.
It's not your fault?
No, ma'am. Let me tell you, you go to sex stores, I do whatever it takes. I'm selfless.
Yeah.
I'm not a selfish lover.
You're trying hard.
Oh, man, I try very hard. No pun intended.
Right. No, we're in trouble already.
Hey.
But you're not he's not an unkind lover. He's not a selfish lover, correct?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say, I've looked it up. There is a condition out there where women don't have an orgasm. And I've explained that to him. And he doesn't think that's the case.
Did you go to the doctor?
No.
See, I would go to a doctor. That's what those people do. And they have a whole specialty just in that area.
It's not me,
to help you out. You understand that? You got to think these things through. But I have to say this. You were with him, you got pregnant, and he bolted, right?
He didn't want to be there, yes. He left.
And he comes back 4 years later. You take him back and immediately get pregnant by him. And now are wondering whether or not you should marry. Did I get that right?
Not exactly.
Well, you tell me what happened, because that alarms me.
So I did get pregnant. He didn't want the baby, so he left. He did show back up 4 years later. We didn't get right back together when he showed back up. We got back together in 2013. So it was a good little distance in between that. And yes, I just got pregnant this year, so it was still a difference.
How long were you together the second go-round before you got pregnant?
3 years, 2013 till now.
Were you concerned about having another baby with a guy who wants, I mean, I know he's older now and he's more mature now, but were you concerned?
I wasn't concerned because I told him at the time I wasn't ready to have a baby. So.
My choice.
Your choice to have a child now? Yeah. You wanted to have a child?
Yeah, I wanted to reface myself, you know?
I wanted
to make a face for what I did in the past. So I felt like, I didn't exactly not want to have a baby the first time. I didn't want to be with her. So I felt like if I can't be with her, why would I have a family with her?
Right.
It wouldn't be productive. So we did separate, and she continued to have the baby. She had the baby on her own.
Right.
And when I did find out, it was too late. She was supposed to get an abortion, but she told me she gonna raise it by herself. So I said, okay, do it by yourself, pride-wise, you know? But years later, as I became more mature, I was like, nah, that's not the right thing to do. There's too many bastards in this world, so I need to be a good father.
So do you want to marry her now?
Oh, darn straight.
Why are you here asking my advice about whether or not you should marry?
No, I know I want to marry her. I just want it to actually work. I don't want to go down that road and it's just unproductive. I want to get
What road's unproductive?
A lack of communication road. I want to actually get things across without yelling, without arguing. I think that's the wrong way to go these days.
Do you believe the two of you have a communication problem?
Yes, definitely.
Why don't you tell me what you believe the nature of that problem is?
I believe we communicate 2 different ways. And with that, we don't fully understand exactly how each other communicate.
What goes wrong? Do you guys start yelling? Is it?
No, it's really his anger. It's not necessarily he talks too fast. I feel like he doesn't hear. He doesn't hear or listen to what I have to say.
Do you pay attention to what she says?
Most definitely.
I don't believe anything you tell me, DH, over there. You're all cool, calm, most definitely, absolutely, no problem. It's all good,
I believe
it's all
everything she says.
cool.
I
You
listen to
know?
everything she says.
You listen to everything she says?
Yes, ma'am.
So why do you have a problem with communication?
I just think that we see eye to eye differently. I don't know, maybe two different walks of life. I had more of a harder life, I would say. She had more of a sheltered life. So
Well, that's one thing you're concerned about with her. You say she has no hustle. What do you mean she has no hustle?
no, hustle and bustle. Here we go. She's born and raised right here. She has all her family right here. I'm not from out here. I'm from New York, so I have no family. So all I got to do is everything for myself. Well, all she got to do is just call somebody if she needs help.
Yeah, but wasn't she 22 alone with an infant? There's some hustle
She
there.
also lived with family members as well.
Because her man abandoned her.
No, that's not true.
Well, yeah, you did. You bolted.
When I left, it was supposed to be an abortion. That was the terms we came to agree upon.
No, it's not.
Don't even
Of
worry
course
about it.
not.
Don't even worry about it.
Of course not.
What are your concerns about the marriage that you are considering?
My concerns is if we don't get the issues now straightened out or fixed, that they'll only get worse when we get married.
So what are the issues?
His anger, his temperament is like my major issue with him. I mean, he goes, like I said, 0 to 100 within seconds.
What does he get angry about? Give me an example of some outrageous response he had to a small problem.
I can tell you, for instance, one day we were sitting in the car and we had been talking for like 3 hours this morning. He knew I had to finish taking a test for this job that I had. So I kept telling him, I was like, I gotta go in, I gotta take the test. And he's very good at swaying you over. So it would be like an extra 10 minutes here, extra 15 minutes here that I would sit in the car and still talk to him until I looked at the time. I had a deadline of when I had to finish this test and told him I had to go. So he got upset because I was leaving. And so he took my cell phone and he smashed it into smithereens.
Mr. DH, why don't you give me your version of that story?
We needed bills paid at the moment. I was trying to figure out how to get bills paid. So if we're trying to get bills paid, I don't want to hear, I got to do something else. No, we need to work. You're never going to be able to take a test if we have no roof.
If you're worried about bills, why would you break a cell phone?
Oh, I was stupid at the moment. We all have bad tempers, but I have lack of tolerance.
You have a lack of control problem.
No, I can control a lot.
No, you didn't control it because your phone, you had a money problem, and your action was to cost yourself more money by destroying a phone. So you didn't have control. You had lost control. Got that?
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
What kind of things does he say or do that you believe are over the top?
Calling the child names.
Like what names?
Stupid.
Mr. DH, do you in fact call your daughter names? So, Ms. Vaughn, tell me how your parenting styles differ.
I don't feel like that you have to yell and scream at the child. And I don't feel like that you have to break the child's confidence in a way of punishing them.
What kind of things does he say or do that you believe are over the top?
I believe talking down to a child. I believe calling the child names.
Like what names? Give me examples.
Can't get right.
He calls her can't get right?
Can't get right. Stupid. It's kind of like whatever's flowing off the top of his head at that moment.
Mr. DH, do you in fact call your daughter names?
I give a boot camp training, I would say, yes. I try to not break her all the way, her spirit all the way, but I do try to strip away her cognitive dissonance that she has. You get what I mean? And she has a lot of it from the other side of the family.
Let me tell you something. No good ever comes of calling people names. It's not an intelligent thing to do. It's not a responsible thing to do. It is a hurtful thing to do. People live that stuff. They absorb it. And if your daddy, the man, the guy, my protector, my world says I'm stupid, a little piece of her will always believe that. And you don't have the right to leave that in her head. Let me say that to you. So stop it. So just stop it. It's not a grown thing to do. It's not a manly thing to do. It's not an appropriate thing to do. What happened when she drew on the wall?
Oh, I was actually the one who got upset that day. He wasn't there. I went into the room and I seen that she had wrote on the wall. She wrote a message on the wall, and she wrote something about mom, dad, a heart, and her favorite actor, Johnny Depp, or something like that on the wall.
Graffiti.
And and I got upset with her. And I told her that when dad comes, that she needs to let him know. Dad went in, she went and told dad, she said, Dad, I have something to show you. She went in there and he was okay with it. He just told her, don't do it again. It's okay. We'll get you some stuff to write on. I was the one who was more upset with that than he was.
Is that accurate?
There's no point in getting upset anymore.
Oh, you get kind of given up by then?
No, I
mean,
don't give up, but there's no point of wasting my energy and getting mad, make myself upset, and my health is important. Sorry. I mean, high blood pressure in black men these days. You know what I mean?
I got a husband. He's black. He's got high blood pressure. He raised 6 kids. Wasn't nobody eye rolling and writing on the wall.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not applauding your antics at all. You're over there being all flip and cute and whatnot about, black men and all this kind of stuff. High blood pressure, blah, 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 blah. You're not telling me anything that I don't know. You're not telling me anything about what's going on at your house. I don't even have an opportunity to assist because I can't even get a good conversation from you because you're being so flip all the time. You understand what I'm telling you?
Good deal.
Excuse me?
Good deal.
Is he like that at home? And if so, what's wrong with you?
She loves it.
I love him. I genuinely do love him. He has some issues. I'm not gonna lie, we all do. He does have issues, but he's one of the sweetest, other than, I know it kind of sounds like a contradiction, but he's one of the sweetest people I do know. And he has like the biggest heart. But he does have an anger issue. And it's not something that at this point I can tolerate anymore to keep escalating. Like we've tried, I've talked to him about it.
Do you agree that you might have a little problem with your anger, or do you feel that she's blowing that out of proportion?
She's sensitive. I would say, honestly, I think it's a California thing. No offense to anybody in the audience, but, I just come from an aggressive tongue. She has sensitive ears.
Your Honor, that's an
say?
excuse.
You know what I mean? I say what I feel. I don't mince my words. I marinate them. You know what I mean, Your Honor?
You can say what you feel and not be belittling.
If you marinate the words, you think about them.
She would savor them. You would
it's
think,
not
right?
directing.
You would think she would savor the taste. No, that's not the case. She don't. She finds it very offensive for me to come direct. She'd rather be phony. I can't do it.
There's a difference between being direct and being angry. There's a difference between being articulate and wordy.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
So you're giving me a lot of...
It's my lack of tolerance. Like I said, I have no tolerance for the nonsense. I just we gotta get it going. We gotta get it happening.
Well, if you don't have tolerance for nonsense, you'd have shot yourself by now.
No.
There's nothing but nonsense coming from over there.
I bang my head
It's
against the wall.
ridiculous.
I bang myself. Let me tell you. It's stressful. It's stressful. I go for a lot of walks. A lot.
I asked you to list 5 things that were wrong with you. You said you're too gung-ho for the universe.
Too gung-ho. I'm passionate about life.
And that you put others down that are incompetent because they suck.
There's no point even dealing with them.
You have a loose tongue if violated and will knock you out if violated. Around this time, I always want to ask everybody in my Before Your Vows sessions to give me a 90-second sales job that, while despite these issues, you two ought to get married. So, Ms. Vaughn, why don't you give me 90 seconds is why this man, above all others, is the one for you?
Because at the end of the day, I do genuinely love him. He has my heart. He's the only person I've ever been with in a relationship, sexually, or however you want to put it. He is. And even through those 4 years that we weren't together, I was with no one else. I didn't even think of anyone else. And I do. I can say I genuinely do love him, and I can see myself being with him. But I can't see it if it continues to go the same way it's going now, without a change.
I concur.
Give me a 90-second sales job why this woman, above all others, is the one for you.
You see her smile? I can't wait till we share denture clubs one day. You know what I mean? She makes me feel good. There's nobody in this world that makes me feel like her, you know? She gets me through a lot. She's helped me to get through a lot, from being homeless to breakups to just get back on my feet. She's been that woman. And every man needs a good backbone, a good back support, and that's this one right here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep that one.
He did a better job than you did. You just said he was the only guy I've ever been with. So hey, you know, you didn't say anything nice about him. You didn't say, you know, nothing. Nothing. I would have at least said he has a sense of humor, but I got nothing from you. He did a much better job than you did. Now,
The lack of hustle. You feel me?
No, you're better at sales than I am. I can honestly say that.
Listen. I'm gonna go through your compatibility test. Ooh. First of all, you need a lesson in penmanship.
I'm supposed to be a doctor.
Oh, God.
I asked you to list 5 things that were wrong with you. You said, I'm too gung-R for the universe.
Gung-ho.
You're too gung-ho for the universe.
Too gung-ho. I'm passionate about life.
And that you put others down that are incompetent because they suck.
There's no point even dealing with them. Not in my circle.
You have a loose tongue if violated.
If violated. So that means...
Will demean you if violated. And will knock you out if violated.
All the above.
Y'all killing me, you know? And I'm really trying to be... Normally, I love before your vows cases because people come to me, they're really in love, but they've got these issues that they need to deal with. And they come at me, this is my point of view, that's my point of view. You two just, I don't know what's going on.
That's my olive oil.
You're
2 peas in a pod.
But the pod's not together. It's separated.
Okay,
That's her right there.
Okay, thank you.
Enough said?
Yeah. I love my job. I enjoy what I do. I like talking to people. I like getting into the middle of a problem and tickling out a solution if we can ever do that. You know, that part I enjoy. Today, they're gonna have to pay me extra. I should get combat pay. I don't know what the heck happened out here. Yeah. Mrs. Vaughn, don't be a silly person, okay? Don't be a person that backs herself up into a corner of no opportunities because you keep having kids with a guy that has yet to commit to you. I got to know he's committed to me for a lifetime. I got to know how he acts when he's angry. I got to know where he goes. I got to know how he spends his money. Then he's got to put a ring on my finger. Then and only then would I honor him by joining my family. That's all I'm gonna say to you. I wish you the best of luck. I know you're gonna marry him. If you marry, you you want to marry him, and you are gonna marry him. He's the father of your 2 kids. Whoo! DH,
What's up?
I'm sure you're great at a party.
No,
I'm sure you're fun somewhere. Wasn't here, but I'm sure you're fun somewhere. And I'm sure you got something she likes, because she keeps coming back to you. Be a better person.
Okay.
Don't be an angry person.
Never.
Don't be a name caller. Be a grown man. It would help us all. And now, I am out. This matter is adjourned.